This video is the first in a three-part series about how to successfully set up and connect a community with the CAPAC Smart Access Hub and MyQ. In this part, we'll show you how to prepare by doing a site survey, checking the existing access control system for wiring, and setting up the community facility database. This video is intended for demonstration purposes only. The procedures demonstrated should only be performed by trained professional installers and service technicians. Safe operation and servicing requires that you follow all instructions and safety advisories found in the manual. To locate a trained professional installer or service technician, go to liftmaster.com/locate-a-dealer. Let's dive in. One of the most important things you must do to ensure a successful community installation is to talk to the IT team or whoever is responsible for the network on site. They need to ensure their network is configured to allow our systems to transmit and receive data. Go to the partner portal at partner.liftmaster.com and download and print the site survey form. This tool will become your best friend as you gather information and confirm the site is properly set up. For each installed CAPAC Smart Access Hub, LiftMaster recommends a minimum upload speed of 1 megabit per second. This means an installation with 2 Smart Access Hubs should plan to provide a minimum upload speed of 2 megabits per second. Additional bandwidth may be needed considering usage of other devices on the network like cameras and computers. Wi-Fi and high-speed wired internet are both acceptable methods for connecting the hub to the internet. Upgrading a phone line to DSL can be an acceptable type of high-speed wired internet. Cellular service is also available for use, integrated into the CAPAC directly. While a cellular connection is not part of the site's network, it is still good practice to inform the site's IT that the device will be installed and use a cellular network connection. For installations using static IP, work with the site IT to receive the following details: IP address, netmask, gateway, primary DNS, secondary DNS, and tertiary DNS. For Wi-Fi installations, make note of the network name and password. Cellular connectivity can be configured during the initial setup of the device if used. The internet connection must be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Network proximity is another consideration. For Ethernet connections, the hub location must be within 300 feet of the network switch or router. For both Wi-Fi and cellular connections, the signal strength must be sufficiently strong in the area. Wi-Fi extenders should be avoided because they introduce latency. As you walk through the job site, if the CAPAC will be used to control LiftMaster gate operators, even if through an existing access control system, make sure the physical location meets UL 325 and ASTM F2200 requirements where these standards apply. The CAPAC requires a DC input of 6 to 24 volts at the appropriate amperage. See the manual for details. This can be supplied in several ways. External power supply, which requires a dedicated 120-volt outlet rated for 10 amps, or power supplied from a gate operator's accessory power terminal. This is your opportunity to identify the gates, doors, and other devices that the CAPAC will be controlling or communicating with. In particular, if there is an access control system, you'll need access to be able to add credentials. This may require you to work with IT or administrative staff, so be sure to get their contact information. Work with the community manager to obtain a diagram of the community layout. This will assist in creating the plan for the devices that need to be installed. In addition to the community layout, work with the community manager to obtain the contact information for all the people who will be added to the database, including residents, workers, managers, and the like. Visiting the site also allows you to identify tools and other items you may need on the day of installation. After concluding the site survey and prior to arrival for installation, work with the community manager to make sure all required wiring is routed. Power wiring and control wiring need to be routed through separate conduit. We will demonstrate use of the CAPAC's built-in cellular signal. This demo setup consists of our CSL24UL and the EL2000 access control system. Before we get started setting up the community database, you will need the CP number for the hub. Unpack the hub and set aside the provided paddle antennae. Write down the CP number from the label on the side. Open a browser and head to account.myq.com. You'll need to do a few things. They include adding the community as a facility, which includes setting up the subscription, adding the community manager as the facility manager or owner, adding all the residents and other people who will have access to the facility. If connecting to an existing access control system, decide on a weekend output credential. And finally, updating your contact information in the facility. This will allow you to test that everything is set up properly after you install the hub. You will need to either add a weekend output credential or configure the relay output. Let's get familiar with some of the most important screens. Click the plus sign to add a facility. When creating a new facility, several payment options are available. You may use your LiftMaster account number or choose payment via ACH or credit card. If you want to set up a LiftMaster account, click the Create New Account Number button to begin the credit application process. It may take a few days to receive your account number. On the pop-up window, click Create Facility. Select Community. Click Next. Fill in all the required information wherever you see a red asterisk. Enter the details for the facility manager. Click Next. Select the payment method. For this demonstration, we'll select Account. Click Next. Click Create Facility. Click on your name and select Billing from the menu. Here, you will choose the MyQ Community CAPAC only plan subscription that will be billed either monthly or yearly. Plans are based on the type of controller or hub and the number of access points they are meant to control. Select the total number of access points that all of your Smart Access hubs will control. In this case, we are adding one access point that is controlled by the CAPAC. The MyQ Community app will be used by residents to permit access to the main gate operator. On the billing page, check the box for MyQ Community app license. Click the box and enter the number of licenses needed. Please note that resident video calling will not be available through the MyQ Community app through the CAPAC Smart Access Hub. Click Proceed to Checkout. Edit the payment details or the billing address as needed. Then, click Activate Subscription. Click Add Devices. You'll return to the device management screen with a message prompting you to add a device with your new MyQ subscription. Click Add Now. Click on Add Devices and select the CAPAC on screen. Enter the CP number for the Smart Access Hub. This is the number you wrote down from the label when you opened the controller. Enter a name for the Smart Access Hub. Click Save. Click Next. On the pop-up window for Device Ports Configuration, click Set up Device Ports. Click Activate Cellular Subscription. On the pop-up window, click Activate. MyQ will now prepare itself to communicate to the SIM card in the CAPAC. Once prepared, MyQ will display the instructions for completing the process, but we will be going through this process later in our pre-configuration. Click Next to continue to set up the CAPAC in MyQ. A window will appear asking if you'd like to set up the device ports on the CAPAC. Click Set up Device Ports to begin. While we will only be using the first weekend output, labeled as Weekend 1, there is the option to wire directly to a device via two dry contact relay terminals. Navigate to the Weekend 1 tab and click on Setup. This Weekend 1 output will be for our front gate, so we will assign this name to the access point in the Weekend Setup window and click Next. Here, we will assign a standard 26-bit credential number with an agreed-upon facility code. Our site does not use offsets for their existing credentials, so we will simply say 0 for this portion. Click Next to save this configuration. Now let's add people, starting with the Community Manager. Click to expand the menu sidebar. Click People. Click Add Person. Fill in the required fields. Choose the role of Facility Manager or Facility Owner. A facility owner has the control to edit all database information related to the facility, including billing. A facility manager can edit almost everything except for the facility itself, the permissions for roles, and they can't view billing information. Enter the email address. Select Send MyQ Smart Access Invite. The community manager will get an email with instructions on what they need to do next. Fill in the address, the information that should appear in the directory for the individual, and assign credentials. Be sure to add the individual to an access group. There are 3 default groups: Resident, Staff, and Vendor. Click Save. Add the rest of the people to the database. There are 3 roles: Dealer Techs, who help set up the community facility, or who may need to provide support. Residents, people who live in the community and who will be using the MyQ Community app. And Access Managers, security personnel or community administrators who need to update user information in the database. Other users who don't require MyQ access, such as landscapers or maintenance people and vendors, do not need to have a role assigned. You will also need to check the box to invite residents to use the MyQ Community app. The support team at LiftMaster is able to assist with bulk loading resident data to the community database. For details, contact us at the number on the screen. Lastly, update your own profile in the facility. In order to test the MyQ Community app, navigate to your profile and locate the Mobile App Invite section under Invitations, then click Send. On the pop-up window, click Send Invite. You'll complete the rest of the database setup when you open the CAPAC. Now, let's get the MyQ Community app set up. Check your email for an invitation to MyQ Community. Tap the App Store link, and you will be taken to the MyQ Community app. Tap Get. Tap Open. If you already have an account, choose Log In. Otherwise, choose Create Account. Select your country. Agree to the terms. Enter your name. Enter your email. Create a password. Verify your email by entering the code you received. Enter the access code sent via the email invite. Enter your address. Verify your phone number. Enter the code that was sent to your phone. To join the community, tap Accept Invitation. For more detailed information, including wiring diagrams, please refer to the CAPAC installation manual or visit partner.liftmaster.com.